Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fantasy Pros Football Podcast. I'm Bobby Sylvester, joined as always by Mike Tagliere, and we've got a special guest today. It's Andy Behrens of Yahoo Sports. We're going to be doing a cool show. So we've got a Dynasty mock draft, and I'm going to get my revenge on Tags and win this one. No cheating is going to be involved, and Andy's going to be doing that with us. And then we've got Fantasy Feud that we've got going on at the end of the show. No news to talk about it. Guys, let's get into it. Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been too long.
It's our pleasure. Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time to come on, and this is going to be a fun show. Tags, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I see in the waiting room that your team name is the Hunks, so I'm glad that you kept that up this year.
Yes, yeah. Gotta use the team name because, I've been going with team name Bobby Sylvester the last couple drafts, and it's just not been working. So I got to mix it up, go back to, where my heart is.
Good to have you back.
All right, so I'm going to click Start Draft here. And while we do that, there's going to be a countdown. I think we've got 60 or 90 seconds. Oh, 30 seconds. Okay. So let's see what our draft positions are. I've got number 3, so that's good. Tags, you're sitting at number 5, and Andy is at number 6. So there's going to be some snipe in there. I like this. This is a good setup for me to finally win.
Yeah, going back and forth on the opposite side of Behrens is not going to be very fun. I always hate drafting on the other side of smart people because it's like, hopefully I'll snipe him and then he'll snipe me, and it's just going to be a giant cluster that we just don't like.
I have the number 3 pick. Saquon's gone. Ezekiel Elliott's gone. Guys, I'm really torn between 22-year-old Christian McCaffrey and Odell Beckham. I'd love to get Beckham, but he's just had so many soft tissue injuries. I think he's the top wide receiver, at least on my dynasty board. I'm going with McCaffrey, but Tags, if this was your pick, you'd take Beckham, right?
Beckham's my number 1 pick. Some people have said Saquon, and I think that I don't think you can go wrong with either or, but Beckham is very young. He's tied to, what should be an elite quarterback in Baker Mayfield. I have no issues. If you want to take Saquon number 1, but those are my clear-cut number 1 and number 2 picks.
Andy, who would you take here? Would you take Christian McCaffrey?
Yes, I would take Christian McCaffrey. The first thing I guess I'd say is that, and this might end up making me a bit of a disappointment to have in a dynasty draft, but I approach a lot of dynasty drafts heavily toward the current season, right? Because it's the NFL and it's really difficult to make long-term plans in the NFL. Those tend to blow up. I do like McCaffrey there, like everything about him, like his age, like the role that he occupies for that team. I'm a little surprised that Odell is your clear number 1 receiver. I don't see a whole lot different with DeAndre's situation and his age and the quarterback that he's tied to going forward. I think that's interesting.
I like Michael Thomas right there behind him, too. But Tags, you've got Beckham available to you right now.
Well, that's the thing. I'm going to take Beckham here. Obviously, if I was going to take him on 1, I'd take him here. So I'm going to take him at 5. But Hopkins, I like Hopkins. He's a little more seasoned, I guess. He's got more competition for targets now when it comes to Will Fuller, when it comes to Kiki QT.
I think you said them in the wrong order. Kiki QT and then Will Fuller.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm glad you said that because he did say them in the wrong order. But we're over Will Fuller, right? Kiki QT is
I was never under Will Fuller.
I think that the Texans would like to run the ball more. I think they have a good defense, solid up front, obviously. But I think they want to run the ball more. It was just a matter of building the offensive line. And I think they've done that. So, I just feel like Beckham, I think you're nitpicking when it comes down to Beckham, when it comes to Barkley, when it comes to Ezekiel Elliott. Those guys, they're all consensus top 5 picks, right?
Yeah, I had to draft McCaffrey, though, because he won me the bet. And Tags, you are going to be eating pizza with butter on it. Now, Andy, you drafted DeAndre Hopkins 6th overall. That's a great pick. And then I saw 2 picks later, Patrick Mahomes went in the 1st round. And that's what you're going to see when you do these mock drafts is every draft is different because everyone has a different set of rankings. And it's, gives you a really unique experience every time and helps you prepare. Andy, who did you just take in the 2nd round?
I just took Dalvin Cook, and it could have been any of a number of running backs in the 2nd round. I want to be competitive this year. I think that's a good offense. Time myself too. Clearly we have not seen Dalvin's best just yet, but the glimpses that we've had, especially that first season, really, really just wonderful. He's just a better back in the NFL than I thought he was going to be coming out of college. And I think I was kind of on an island as a pessimist regarding Dalvin jumping into the NFL. He's been great in his best moments. I feel pretty good about him. It was either him or Chubb.
Man, I'll tell you what, I was really hoping Dalvin Cook would last. Do we agree on everything, Andy?
Well, if we agree on Kiki, then we agree on the important stuff.
Yeah. All right, and Tag's got Nick Chubb over Amari Cooper. Tags, what's wrong with you, man?
Well, I mean, I took Beckham in the first. I'm not going to be left with no running backs because if Chubb and Fournette were to come off the board, I'd be looking at Aaron Jones as the RB1 or something like that. And that's not something I want to do. So I'm going to take Nick Chubb. I know some people are worried about Kareem Hunt. I'm not one of those people. Cleveland got him for nothing. And don't forget that they drafted Chubb at the top of the second round, showing just how much they value him. And he did nothing. Absolutely nothing in 2018 that would concern you as a fantasy owner. So Nick Chubb and Odell Beckham, I'm tied to the Browns now, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
We're also, we're waiting 8 weeks on Kareem Hunt, which is just an eternity. That might as well be 8 years. That's forever.
Top guys left on my board, Antonio Brown. At least this is what the ECR recommends. Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce. I could reach for a running back. I'm going to wait and hope Leonard Fournette's still there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Keenan Allen. I know he's going to be sharing some targets with Mike Williams and with Hunter Henry this year, but Keenan Allen's pretty consistent, and I like him as my wide receiver 1. Plus, I have to reinvent his picture.
Well, you have McCaffrey and Keenan Allen. Not bad. Not a bad 1-2 punch.
We'll see what the grade says. I think it's fantastic.
Are you going to go with Fournette here then?
I'm going Fournette. Yeah, dude. Before I make my pick, though, I want to tell you guys about PristineAuction.com. So we have a JuJu Smith-Schuster helmet that we're giving away thanks to PristineAuction.com. That's at FantasyPros.com/contest. Takes about 30 seconds to enter. Tags, have you got anything from Pristine lately?
I've lost a few bids lately. I don't know if we're just telling enough people about it and people are outbidding me on things because, again, Amari Cooper, I still don't have an Amari Cooper helmet, which is just blowing my mind. But the most recent thing was the AJ Green. I did win an AJ Green signed Bengals helmet.
There you go. That's a nice one, man. So I just made my pick. And, if you're looking on Pristine Auction, there's always great values. I saw LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the best fantasy players ever. $52 for a signed LaDainian Tomlinson football. If you want to spend a little bit more, you can go out and get yourself a Patrick Mahomes football helmet, signed football helmet if you're a Chiefs fan, whatever you want for your cave, no matter who your team is, Bills, Browns, whoever it is, you'll find something that you love, and everything's guaranteed authentic from only the most trusted sources. That's PristineAuction.com, PRISTINE auction.com. Tags, who you picking, man?
This is pretty fitting. I just talked about AJ Green, and I think people are just kind of letting go of him too soon. Him and Julio Jones came into the league at the same time. You had Julio, he's going at the end of the first, beginning of the second in dynasty startups, but you have AJ Green falling into the third, sometimes fourth round. So I think that's crazy. I think AJ Green is now going to be tied to, I don't want to say an offensive mind because we don't really have any idea what Zach Taylor's going to do, but what we do know is that he's going to be more innovative than Marvin Lewis was in that entire offense, over the years. So I'm excited about the possibilities with AJ Green. I do believe he is still a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Now, do I think he's a top 5 fantasy receiver? Probably not. But at the same time, I think that he has that potential. I think that if he's on the field for 16 games, you're locked into wide receiver 1 performance. And that's essentially what I'm looking for. So again, like Andy said, don't look too far into the future with these guys. Take the guys that are going to perform.
Andy, did he snipe you?
So AJ was under consideration, but I'm getting my guy, and I'm taking George Kittle here. Kelce obviously would have been this is my guy coming into the NFL. Iowa boy, so I've got that going for me. Also, obviously, coming off a record-breaking season, he's going to be a prime target for someone who is at least a theoretical great quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. I think this year is going to be really fun. I realize they have some more options in the offense, and he's not going to get some ridiculous target share perhaps this year, but I'm the Ricky Stanzi experience, is what I've named my team. So
I didn't even notice that. That's nice.
As soon as I realized we could change the team names, I was all over that.
Yeah, Tags is being boring. He's just Mike Tagliere.
Yeah, I'm boring.
I gotta say, I kind of hate the options that are being recommended to me at this point, and I'm a little bit heartbroken that
pick another tight end. Go OJ Howard.
That Philip Lindsay is gone.
Oh yeah,
that really hurts me. So I'm gonna take Cooper Kupp here. I think he's great. I see almost no separation between him and the other 2 Rams receivers, really, for dynasty purposes. I love being tied to that offense.
So you would have taken Philip Lindsay over Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, I would have taken him over Josh Jacobs. I just think he's, number one, I think he's better. Jacobs is obviously in a great situation right now. I think the running backs, the next, as I look at this list of remaining running backs, it's just a minefield. And I'm gonna let somebody fall to me. I don't know. I'm not gonna plant my flag at any of these guys.
So Tags, it's your pick here in the 4th round, and don't take my guy.
This is pretty rough because Corey Davis has been my guy, and it's I have him next on my list, and it's I hesitate every time to pick him because I know what he's tied to right now, and I don't know what's coming in the future. So I think I'm going to go the easy way out here, and I'm just going to take Josh Jacobs as a running back. I mean, Darius Geis is there. He was someone under consideration, but again, I think they're more concerned than they're letting on. Adrian Peterson was re-signed. They drafted Bryce Love. Chris Thompson's still on the roster. I just feel like that's going to be more of a timeshare than people think. And so yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really excited about that pick. I don't like taking Josh Jacobs in the 4th round, but that's kind of how everything falls.
Just to underscore what you said about guys, everything about their offseason screams that they're concerned about him, right? Like it's not that much. I mean, we've kind of been talking about it a lot with Todd Gurley. That offseason also screams that they're concerned about him. But my God, they gave Peterson 2 years, and then they drafted Bryce Love. And I mean, if that I don't know. I don't know who first said it, but like teams can't lie to us when they draft and when they sign free agents, and that just tells you everything about how they're feeling about guys.
Tags, I like Josh Jacobs, but you did not pick my guy. He's still there. DJ Moore, let's go. And hopefully Corey Davis lasts. I don't think DJ Moore would have lasted to you. Okay, here we go. Oh, Corey Davis taken. Man, that's a bummer.
So you went DJ Moore over Corey Davis?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Andy, you would have too, right?
Yeah, I would have as well. I think DJ Moore's awesome.
Would you have taken him over Chris Godwin? Because Godwin went the pick before you took DJ Moore.
It's really close.
I'd take Godwin over DJ Moore.
It is really close, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have taken Moore over Godwin. I would have had to think about it. Man, I'm looking right now. Devontae Freeman. I could reach for Chris Carson. He's my guy. I'm not going to reach this far, though. So Calvin Ridley, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. I'm trying to win this year. Give me Sammy Watkins, man.
Yeah, Watkins was the highest wide receiver on my board right now, and you kind of took that away from me.
Sorry, dude.
That's cool.
I'll trade him to you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not gonna totally hate on it, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna take the other guy that you mentioned. I'm gonna take Calvin Ridley. He's the next wide receiver on my list, and Julio Jones, while he's been healthy as of the last 3 years now, he's played at least 15 games. If Julio Jones misses time, Calvin Ridley's a top 15 play every week. Calvin Ridley showed last year he's capable in the NFL, just like I kind of think most of us thought he would be. Those of us who watched him in college, very good wide receiver, and to have him as my wide receiver 3 behind Odell Beckham and AJ Green, I could live with the inconsistencies in his game right now.
Kind of like he's wide receiver 3 for Atlanta behind Sanu.
Oh, get out of here. Shut up.
He was last year, man.
Okay. Now you're going too far. The Kiki QT thing was one thing.
I'm just messing with you. You know I like Calvin Ridley. Thanks for giving me the reaction I wanted, though.
Don't start with me.
Oh.
Not today.
Andy, it's your pick for 2 of them, and you just went with, was that Miles Sanders that went to you?
No, I went to David Montgomery.
He went the better running back, yes.
Good choice. If it was Miles Sanders, we were going to have a problem. Chris Carson's gone. No! I know who, it was Dirty Randy. I guarantee he's in this draft, and he took Chris Carson.
What is happening here?
My whole draft's ruined right now. I don't even know what to do.
This is a lot of emotion to spend on Chris Carson. I mean, nice player and all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right.
And by the way, Chris Carson had off-season surgery, Bobby. I don't know if you heard that, but that's not good.
Yeah, but Pete Carroll says it's nothing. It's going to be a couple weeks. No big deal. No worries.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't trust Chris Carson at all. Andy, I want to ask you before you make your pick, okay? So you like George Kittle, and I do as well. He went 15 picks after Travis Kelce. With Travis Kelce being 30 years old, who would you rather have in Dynasty?
Yeah, Kelce again because I'm thinking. Oh shoot, I got to pick because I'm.
Yeah, by the way, you have 10 seconds. I'm sorry.
Because I'm thinking.
This is what Bobby does.
Tight time horizons here.
Tags, are you taking Andrew Luck if he falls?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Andy should take him right now, so he doesn't take the guy that I'm actually going to select.
I'm just there are some rookie receivers on the board that I like a whole lot. I'm a huge fan of AJ Brown. I hate the quarterback situation right now, but I think he might be their number 1 very soon. That's nothing against Corey Davis. I just thought Brown was a magnificent player, the best receiver on a team that involved a more hyped player in college. I'm just a huge fan, and I think that guy's got 100 reception seasons in his future.
I like it.
All right. I like A.J. Brown too, but I'm a Corey Davis owner in Dynasty, quite a few Dynasty leagues actually, and it sucks. So good luck with the Titans. That's basically how I feel about it. I love A.J. Brown. He was actually my favorite receiver in the draft. I just hated the landing spot. Hated it.
What are you talking about, man? They got Ryan Tannehill now.
Oh, boy. Okay. I'm just going to take Tariq Cohen here and tie myself to another explosive offense. You know, when I see Tariq Cohen going in the 4th round, it drives me nuts because I'm like, don't do that. But as my RB3, looking at the options that were going to be left on the board for me, I wasn't really in love with them. So I didn't want to end up with Royce Freeman as a starter right now just because I have no idea what to expect out of him.
I mean, you could have got Carlos Hyde or Latavius Murray or Ronald Jones way later and just put Freeman on your bench.
I might still get those guys, but I'm going to take Tariq Cohen because he offers me upside every single week.
Yeah, okay, so it's my pick, and I'm actually thinking about Andrew Luck here. I was leaning towards a wide receiver, N'Keal Harry, I'm really fond of.
I was about to say, you should just take Harry here. You want to.
He might last a couple more picks, though. I don't think Andrew Luck's going to. And I think there's a pretty big drop-off between him and the rest of the quarterbacks. In Dynasty, I would wait really long to get my quarterback. But if Andrew Luck's sitting there in the late 6th round, I'm pulling the trigger, guys.
So you took Luck?
And N'Keal Harry is there. All right, baby.
So,
by the way, this is a much deeper league. So I don't know if you guys noticed listening at home, but we've got 3 starting running backs, 4 starting wide receivers, 2 flex, and 7 bench. So we're going to go a little bit faster from here on out so we can get the fantasy feud in. I'm going to N'Keal Harry, obviously, though. Tags, who are you taking?
Yeah, I was actually hoping that Aaron Rodgers would fall because his Dynasty ADP right now is 6th, but he's not. He's not there. He was drafted. That kind of sucks. I feel like I'd be reaching for a different quarterback, so I'm going to take the running back. I'm going to take Rashad Penny here. 1st round pick. Chris Carson dealing with those knee issues. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rashad Penny.
Man, that would be huge if he was the starter in Seattle.
Yeah, in the 7th round, I'd take it.
Yeah, that would be absolutely enormous. I'm kind of a Chris Carson guy myself, but it's certainly in play.
Oh, I like Carson more than I do Penny. I think Penny is very, very competent, and I think that obviously drafting him in the 1st round, they're going, even if he walks into that Mike Davis role plus what he had, I feel like he could be an RB3.
And now that he doesn't weigh 245 pounds, let's see what he can do. He's finally in good shape. Man, this next round is going to be make or break for me. So please, guys, let my guy fall. This can save my draft since I didn't get Chris Carson.
Save your draft. Wow.
Uh-huh.
At this point, I am actually going to take Kareem Hunt. It's not so much about this year. He's, again, we talked about it earlier, an 8-game suspension is forever. But down the road, whether it's next year, whether it's the year after, the idea of Kareem Hunt finding a starting job in the NFL, again, doesn't seem too far-fetched to me. And then if he does, I've got a top 10 running back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah. This year, Tags doesn't like Hunt. He wouldn't even draft Hunt. I would draft him in the 11th or 12th round if he falls.
I mean, I just wouldn't touch him in redraft because, again, 8 games, half a season. That's ridiculous. You're not gonna keep
and
him.
Nick
You're just
Chubb's
not
there.
gonna keep him. Yeah. As a practical matter, unless you have an 8-man bench, you're just not gonna keep him.
I'm cool with drafting backup running backs, and that's kind of what they are. Is maybe you wait 8 weeks and finally he gets to play, and maybe he doesn't play, but he's a super high upside guy. He's the best backup running back, so I'm fine with it. Guys, I've got 3 guys I really like and 4 picks ahead of me. Andy, you're up.
I'm going to make a look at me pick here.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a guy who I think should go. I'll say that I think he should have gone earlier. Maybe it's divisive in some way. I'm talking myself into this guy as the top wide receiver in rookie dynasty drafts, and that's going to be Andy Isabella. I like him so much more than Harry. I don't know that Harry's number 2. I think AJ Brown's number 2 for me.
Andy Isabella, I think he probably would have lasted a little longer, but I definitely understand.
There's no question he would have lasted longer.
I understand going and getting your guy. I thought you were going to go with Kiki QT after saying that, and I was not going to be super happy. I know Tag's not going to, so.
I'm going to take the guy that Bobby really wants.
Don't do it, Tags. Don't.
So I'm going to take Hunter Henry just so Bobby can.
No. You big jerk.
Wow, language.
That was strictly just to make Bobby mad.
Just remember, I get to make your pizza in 1 week, in 1 month, whenever we're doing it. And I don't just have to put butter on there. I can put vegetables and stuff, dude.
No, that was not part of the bet.
The bet was, you can go back and listen. The bet was I can put whatever I want on it and you have to eat it.
Andy, have you ever had buttered pizza? Have you ever heard of this crap?
I'm sorry, butter on pizza?
Yeah. Bobby puts butter on his pizza.
Do you put mayonnaise on pizza? Do you put
No. I mean, have you ever had the butter painted on the outside of the crust or dipped it in butter sauce?
Oh, well, a buttery crust is one thing.
Yeah, buttery crust is a different story.
It's also really good on the cheese. I mean, think about it this way. When you're getting, what's it called, stuffed cheesy bread, they're painting that with butter. And then they're putting the cheese on.
My God, man. You're going to be dead at 38. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going Royce Freeman.
Okay.
And I meant to, David Njoku was taken. That's why I couldn't take him.
Yeah, he was.
I was going to go tight end here, and now I don't really have an option to. So man. I guess I'm going Kiki QT then. That's fine with me.
Nice.
I just really wanted Hunter Henry or David Njoku, and they went the 2 picks before me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's sad. It's a sad moment.
I'm pretty happy about it.
I mean, I got Kiki QT, so I can't complain because he wasn't going to fall another round to me.
Yeah.
That's fair to say, yes.
I'm taking the top receiver on my board right now, and it's not really too close. I mean, it's somewhat close. I mean, there's 4 spots between him and the next guy, and then 4 spots again. I'm going to go with Marquise Brown here. I think he's being undervalued right now. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the landing spot in Baltimore, and I'm not necessarily like in love with it, but at the same time, he is the clear-cut number 1 option on that team. Like, he is the guy, okay? You know, Miles Boykin's not. He's never going to be that guy. And the thing that Lamar Jackson does well is he buys time. And there is not a single cornerback, even Jalen Ramsey, not a single cornerback in the NFL that could hang with Marquise Brown more than a couple seconds. To overlook this guy as a top 50 wide receiver in dynasty drafts, which is he's going outside the top 50 wide receiver. I just took him as the 47th, I think, off the board. So it's like, it blows my mind that people are overlooking this kid. Is that he reminds me of Deshaun Jackson, and Deshaun Jackson, even though he wasn't a big guy, he wasn't a touchdown guy, he was a guy that would finish, you know, in between the wide receiver 10 and the wide receiver 18, like over and over and over again.
So Andy, your pick was really interesting. Why don't you tell them who you took?
It was kind of an interesting pick, wasn't it? I took Kyler Murray. I'm probably 75% this Kingsbury stuff is going to work out in Arizona. Like I'm not 100% it's going to work out, but it's one of those picks where like, what if it all goes right? And if it all goes right, Kyler Murray ran for 1,000 yards last year, And I don't know that he's exactly what like Lamar Jackson is, but I certainly think he's in that upper tier of rushing quarterbacks. I think we're going to see the full expression of that offense if the line can block it and if the line can function at all the way we would normally see a line operate in an air raid system. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things, and there's also a ton of new stuff going on there. So this is probably a 2 years out sort of move. But I think there's a very realistic chance that we see in his best seasons, Kyler
He could
Murray,
be the QB1 eventually.
Right, like as a 4,000 yard and 500 rushing yard, 6-7 rushing scores kind of quarterback, and that's a potential fantasy MVP in any given season. So he's my guy. I think in the current year he could finish as a top 10, top 12 quarterback. So if I get the next 10 or 12 years from him, I'm pretty happy about that.
Andy, I'll let you make the pick, and then I'm going to ask you something real quick.
Gosh, these running backs are horrid, aren't they? I'm trying to find anyone that I can stand even a little bit right now, and they all deserve to be taken like 10 rounds later. But I'm gonna go Ito Smith. I don't feel great about it, but he has a known role.
Yeah, now that you've done that, I can ask you, did you know Kyler Murray, his prop bet in Vegas right now is 420 some rush yards?
Yeah, I like the over there.
Yeah, I would say that too, but it seems like crazy low where it's almost like...
Maybe they're thinking he might not start week 1? He's got to, right?
There's just no chance.
way.
Like, I don't know, this era, you just don't do all that they've done and not start him week 1. It's kind of a bet on an injury, I suppose, but healthy season, he goes over 420.
Yes, Bobby, I took Ronald Jones. What do you got to say about it?
I got to say that I'm disappointed, man. I wanted him.
Well, I'm happy.
After Latavius Murray was taken, I was like, all right, I'm getting Ronald Jones here. I need a third running back. So I guess I got to go with Darrell Henderson here.
Yeah, you take Darrell Henderson. It's not a terrible pick. So I actually offered, just so everybody knows, like full transparency, I actually offered. So I have James Washington in our Fantasy Pros Dynasty Invitational League. I sent an offer to Jody Smith. He has not responded yet, but I sent him an offer. I would be sending James Washington to him in exchange for Ronald Jones and like a third round pick. So I am putting my money where my mouth is and saying I'll pay for Ronald Jones. So I think that the risk is worth the reward with him, especially when we get to the end of the 10th round.
So I lied. I'm actually going to get cute. I'm taking Dallas Goedert here, and let's see if Darrell Henderson falls. He did.
You took Goddard over Noah Fant?
Yeah.
Woo, that's hot.
Yeah, I did.
That's hot.
Dude, he's going to be playing with Carson Wentz in that offense.
Oh, I mean, is Zach Ertz going away? Is he going to die?
Well, I mean, he's old.
He's old.
It's going to happen eventually. And when it does, he's going to be the tight end 1.
I do think at some point Goddard has like some sort of weird like 38 reception, 9 touchdown season, right? Like he's just such an appealing end zone target.
All right, I'm taking a look at the draft board right now and seeing who's around me. Okay, so there are 2 other teams that don't have a quarterback, and they're both on this side, which kind of stinks. There were 2 quarterbacks that I was looking at here thinking about taking.
It's Mitch Trubisky, isn't it?
No, it's not Mitch.
Jameis?
I'm actually going to go with Matt Ryan. It's at 67% of experts told me that it should have been Jared Goff over Matt Ryan, but I disagree. I mean, Matt Ryan has been a top 2 fantasy quarterback in 2 of the last 3 years. He's been a QB1 as far as recent memory. You know, Calvin Ridley helps. Julio Jones is in the prime of his career. Mohamed Sanu hasn't gone away. Devonta Freeman's coming back. Austin Hooper took a step forward. And Dirk Cutter doesn't know how to run the ball. So there's a lot of good things about Matt Ryan.
Yeah, certainly for the next, you know, and it comes down to what you think your time horizon should be in a dynasty league, but you shouldn't really look out much farther than 3 years or so. And I think that's clearly Matt Ryan. I'm going to take Nyheim Hines. I feel okay about his PPR upside, obviously.
Carlos Hyde went after that. Bobby's guy's gone.
I know. This is bad, guys.
Looking at the guys that are gone, and I don't really miss any of them. I might have thought about Peyton Barber eventually, only because he's going to get volume. I don't love my receiving options at this point, so I'm probably at a stage where, these are dreadful.
This is getting ugly, guys.
It's like fun receivers that are tied to terrible quarterbacks. I'm not too into that, so just dynasty value-wise, and just in case the whole Kingsbury-Murray experiment doesn't work out immediately, I think I'm going to give myself Dak Prescott here.
All right. So now back to me, and staring at an ugly draft board, as we've talked about. Do I take the guy who has potential but has never played in the NFL, or a guy that showed potential and never really lived up to it? There's a lot of question marks around him.
Devontae Parker or Hakeem Butler, is that who you're picking between?
Bobby figured it out. That's the exact choice that I was trying to figure out between. I think Devontae Parker presents just as much upside. He has flashed in the NFL, and you can't say that Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen are exactly a downgrade. And even if they are, he's getting a new quarterback in 2020. I really feel like Devontae Parker's being undervalued. I'm going to take him. That's where I'm going to go. He's a bench receiver for me. That's fine. I can kind of wait and see if he pans out.
Well, I have to take Curtis Samuel because he's still available and he's my dude.
Yeah, I debated him. He was actually one there, and Hakeem Butler actually went the pick after me, so it was right in that area.
I would have taken Samuel next.
I still need a third running back, and Austin Eckler is there, and I should have taken him. I got greedy and thought he'd make it back to me. Tags, this is for you. No, I'm going to save this one. I'm going to wait an entire round and then take a guy that you like. I'm going to go Damian Harris right now, just tie myself to that Patriots offense. I mean, if Sony Michel goes down, I think Harris, you've talked about it before, Tags, he's the same type of player. He'll step right into that role and probably be a touchdown machine.
So I know this could be like a podcast on its own, but Patriots, for dynasty purposes, I find really difficult, and I find it difficult with Harry too. It comes down to how long you think Tom Brady can actually be Tom Brady, and I'm super skeptical.
I don't think he is anymore.
We've just, there's literally never been a good or even competent or functional 42-year-old quarterback in the NFL. So, why should there be one now? Why should there be a good 43-year-old next year? Why should there be a good 44-year-old? And there's no succession plan there. I think it's pretty dicey to just, we're way past the point where you just take Patriots and you're like, oh man, this is a lock for the next 3 years.
Let's pretend that for whatever reason Hunter Henry doesn't bounce back to the player that he was pre-ACL.
Don't! No, that's the guy I was going to take. Don't!
I'm going to take Trey Burton.
Oh, wow. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm going to take him for my bench.
Over your boy Vance McDonald?
Well, it's funny. I just traded David Njoku away in one league where I had Vance McDonald on my bench, and I was like, I'm fine with McDonald as my starter, and I still would be. I'm not against McDonald, but I think Burton from a dynasty standpoint is worth more. In redraft, I'm fairly certain I'm going to go McDonald over Burton.
As Mike knows, I'm a longtime Jamison Crowder apologist. It's probably never going to happen for him, but I got to get my share.
He was my other pick.
You're wrong. It's happening this year. Darnold loves those slot receivers.
Yeah, I mean, super impressed as everyone was, by Darnold's last 4 or 5 weeks. I think he could really be a thing.
Oh, somebody else took Vance McDonald. What's going on here? All right, back to you, Andy, for pick 14.
I'm looking for anybody that I can plausibly hype. The rookie tight ends are gone. That's no fun. Maybe I'm just looking for plug and play running backs. No, they're terrible as well. This draft board became kind of a nightmare in a hurry, didn't it?
So quick, yeah.
Scrolling. Don't love any of it. Now I'm on the clock. Now I'm really, really on the clock. I'm going to if I can scroll back up and take, I'm just going to go Austin Hooper here.
Good pick.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's in my pick here. I'm going to take Duke Johnson. I'm hoping he gets traded is basically what I'm hoping at this point. And on top of that, I do have Nick Chubb. So it's like for the first 8 weeks, I have a semi-handcuff. I'm not drafting him for that. I'm drafting hoping that Duke Johnson maybe gets traded and then he becomes Ronald Jones's handcuff or the starter in Tampa Bay, because I thought that Tampa should have been a team that was in on Duke Johnson.
I'm taking my Dynasty QB5 right now, Jameis Winston. He's still on the board.
Yeah, he's my QB11 in Dynasty, but I have no issue with you taking him there.
All right. Drew Brees was still on the board, too. Man, I could really use another running back. I actually have 4 right now because of Darrell Henderson, but you can't use him right away. Same with Damian Harris. So I would love to use one of these guys who's going to catch passes. I don't really see anyone that I trust in that role right now because all the running backs are gone. I'm going to go with Chris Herndon, and I don't like him, but he's still on the board, and I actually need a tight end to use this year since I can't use Dallas Goedert. So I guess here we are, tight end 2 in round 15. Yuck.
Yeah, I don't like Herndon very much. Andy, you mentioned it about Brady, like the whole thing about quarterback playing until they're 40, and Brady has overcome, like he's the outlier. He's just something that doesn't happen, right? And Brees is now 40 years old. At what point do we say that Brees is going to, take a turn for the worse?
No, it's a huge concern. I mean, it's just a very, very small number of players that have been usable at all. And the other thing is when they fall off a cliff, it's not like gradual in their 40s, right? It happens the way it did for Brett Favre, where he's great, and then the game's too fast for him, like a minute later, and then he's done. I just don't think we're going to get some gradual, 3-4 years of Tom Brady just losing value slowly and watching it bleed away. I mean, I think it happens all at once, and it could be this year, it could be next year, but it's going to happen. And the same story with Brees. We've probably got, I don't know if we've got 1 year left there, if we've got 2 years left, but it's not a lot.
Yeah. That's basically where I'm at. It's just like, they want to run the ball more. The defense has been playing better. They've started to show some value in a backup, Bridgewater signing him and then re-signing him. And, maybe next year they actually spend some draft capital on a quarterback. But yeah, I've been wondering about that. So it's a question I wanted to ask you, but I am going to, at the risk of waking my dog up that's laying on the floor next to me and my puppy, I'm taking Mitch Trubisky in the middle of the 15th round. If you guys missed out on that, my new dog, his name is Mitch. So, yeah, I'm going to take Trubisky here as a backup to Matt Ryan, and I feel fantastic about it because I think Trubisky legitimately offers you top 8 upside.
I'll just say I've seen the pictures of your dog, and it's got enormous paws, and it's going to grow into like a 200-pound monster, isn't it? It's like a dire wolf of a dog.
Yeah, we're expecting like 50 to 75 pounds, but his paws are massive.
I took Nelson Aguilar. It doesn't really deserve that much analysis.
We're at the point now we're just going to take our guys with our final 3 picks and kind of, yeah.
All right, and it's back to you, Andy.
I don't want any of these dogs. Sure, I'll take Giovanni Bernard.
Sure.
I'm basically taking guys who might have an okay, 2019.
All right, Tags.
That pick is easy for me. It's John Ross. Like, get out of here. Come on.
Oh, wow.
John Ross at the end of the 16th.
I just got sniped.
Yeah. Oh, Chase Edmonds?
Yeah. That's like the only guy I wanted.
Yeah, no, John Ross, like, seriously, think about this, guys. Like, Bobby, while you're making your picks real quick, I just want to say that John Ross, imagine, if Robert Woods had stayed in Buffalo his entire career, you wouldn't look at him as a top 20 wide receiver. Now, all of a sudden, he's tied to a good offense. John Ross might play the Brandon Cooks role in like that McVay offense because Zach Taylor has said they're starting with the Rams playbook and they're going to kind of go from there. And if you look at the skill position players, AJ Green would be like the Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp would be Tyler Boyd, and that means Brandon Cooks, John Ross, like that's the mold he is. I feel like he's a more complete receiver than people give him credit for. And at this late in the draft, it's rare to find a receiver with the upside that John Ross presents. I'm
going Equanimeous St. Brown with my first pick. I'm sure you all figured that was going to happen. Oh, man, this is tough. Tags, I'm getting back at you, Jalen Hurd. You can tell everyone why that's a good pick.
Just lashing out.
Jalen Hurd, there's some upside there for sure. 6'5", 230 pounds. Like he's basically a tight end in a wide receiver's body. He played running back for Christ's sake. Like Jalen Hurd's upside is immense. Like it's massive. And if Kyle Shanahan can figure out how to use him out of the backfield because he used to be a running back, like I just feel like there's tremendous upside with him. And he's like one of those guys to have on your dynasty bench.
And there's a lot of upside in Dynasty because you can trade him for Hunter Henry if you need to. I'm
going to take Jordan Wilkins. I'm going to handcuff myself because Nyheim Hines is not the handcuff to Marlon Mack.
Oh, it's Spencer Ware.
I don't know if he is. He lasted so long in free agency. I've kind of moved on from Spencer Ware. I wanted him because he was part of the Chiefs offense. Let's be real.
All right, Andy, last pick.
I took DJ, just a freakish athlete, right? Like uniquely athletic even by NFL standards. I'm looking for anybody to fill out this miserable roster.
Man, there's a lot of guys I still like.
I have some likes out there, but
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of loves out there. I feel like we've probably left some useful quarterbacks on the board. Man, Josh Allen is still sitting there. You know what? I can't leave Tom Brady undrafted. I've talked about him quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I figure he's like a 1 year and done kind of guy, but he is still Tom Brady.
And with my final pick, I'm going to take Marquise Lee. If he stays healthy and stays in the field, he's been extremely productive. You know, he was a guy that was drafted before Allen Robinson, and he played well. Like he's the big wide receiver there. Like D.D. Westbrook isn't that guy. DJ Chark isn't that guy. So Marquise Lee can be a potentially 100-target guy in the 18th round. Okay.
Hey, Tags, you know me well enough. Who do I have 100% exposure to? Who am I taking here?
Oh, 100% exposure. Man, I'm looking down my list.
I'll give you a hint. He's the number one wide receiver for one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
It's the number one wide receiver. Oh, David Moore.
David Moore. Yeah. Let's go. All right, and it's going to give us our draft grades right now. All right, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. A+.
You did not get an A+.
Oh, I got an A 94A.
Andy?
I have a B. I have a mid B. I have the kind of B where you could beg your teacher for extra credit and maybe raise it to an A-.
Yeah. I just like to say I'm sorry you guys suck. And I got a 96 out of 100, an A. So, yeah.
Holy cow, man.
Love me.
It's because you drafted Hunter Henry. The AI knew, man. They knew that was the championship winner.
That's the only reason I didn't get 100.
Oh, man. You know, the thing was, I knew I was going to win this draft, and so the reason we were doing Fantasy Feud at the end was so we could decide who got second place, and now I'm going to be the guy. I have the answer, so I can't play, and so I don't even have a chance at second place. Tags, are you going to win both of them, or are you going to let our guest win this one?
I might let Andy win this one. I like Andy as a guy, and I want him to come back on the show, so I got to be nice.
I think he's going to win anyway. I'm rooting for him. And I'm in charge of the score, so I can just change the rules if I want.
You want to just run through your teams real quick?
Yeah, that's a good idea before we just jump right in. So, Tags, why don't you start first? Championship team.
Matt Ryan is quarterback, running backs. So this league that we did, it was a deeper league where we start 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 flex. This is actually how we do it in the FantasyPros Dynasty League, so I love these settings. Matt Ryan, the quarterback. The running backs, starting running backs, are Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Tariq Cohen. Wide receivers, Odell Beckham, AJ Green, Calvin Ridley, Marquise Brown.
That's good, man.
Tight end, Hunter Henry. My 2 flex spots are Rashad Penny and Ronald Jones. My bench is Mitch Trubisky, Trey Burton, Duke Johnson, Devontae Parker, John Ross, Marquise Lee, and Jordan Wilkins.
Dude, that team is really good. I hadn't realized during the draft how good your team was. I mean, it's not as good as mine. I don't know why they graded you that way, but that's a good team, man.
You have Dallas Goedert as your starting tight end. That's not great.
No, I don't. My starting tight end is Chris Herndon.
That's even worse.
I know. It sucks. It's your fault, too. And you knew this was going to happen.
You had the number 3 pick. What happened?
I took Christian McCaffrey. And
That's where it all went wrong.
I have the best team. Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette at running back, Royce Freeman at running back, Darrell Henderson. Oh, Damian Harris. I got 5 running backs, and it's not pretty. My wide receivers are great, though. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Sammy Watkins, N'Keal Harry, Kiki QT, Curtis Samuel, David Moore.
Let's say your definition of great is different than mine.
Equinemius St. Brown, Jalen Hurd, and then I got Andrew Luck at quarterback, Jameis Winston at quarterback, and then the tight ends, Goddard and Herndon. So, yeah, I don't know, Tags. Maybe your team is better than mine.
Andy, you want to go through yours real quick?
Tags is really good, yeah. I'm going to concede right there. My quarterbacks are some combination of Dak Prescott and Kyler Murray. Running backs are Dalvin Cook, David Montgomery. It has slotted Kareem Hunt in there, but that's probably not going to happen. That's going to be either Ito Smith or Naheem Hines. Receivers, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, a couple of rookies, Andy Isabella. I think I'm on an island there. AJ Brown, love him. George Kittle, Earth's best tight end. And then in the flex, we're going to have some combination of Ito Smith, Hines. What else is out there? Jamison Crowder is a possibility. I've got Aguilar on the bench. It's playable.
Yeah, I like the team. I'm going to look at team analysis. So I was number 2 at quarterback, number 3 at running back. Even with not having much depth, number 3 on the bench, tight end just killed me, though. Tags, you are such a jerk, dude.
Don't get mad. David, I mean, he was there around earlier. You could have taken him.
I should have. I figured you wouldn't do that, though, because...
Should have taken O.J. Howard, because you said O.J. Howard you'd want over Travis Kelce.
Well, actually, no. Now that Tyreek Hill thing happened, I want it. But it's pretty close. O.J. Howard's going to be awesome. He already is awesome. Okay, guys, we're going to get into Fantasy Feud, and this is very much like Family Feud. We actually surveyed, over 300 people tags?
Yeah, there was a lot. Like, we put out something on Twitter, and we had a lot of replies. I think it turned out to be more than that, but that was actually after the 24 hours that they used to do the first one, because we're looking to do more and more of these. Thanks to those who participated, and hopefully I don't embarrass myself.
Yeah, so it's going to be Andy face tags. I'm rooting for Andy. And this is quarterbacks to avoid.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you haven't seen Family Feud, I guess, where have you been, first off? Second off, Bobby's going to ask us a question, and Andy and I are, basically going to hit our buzzers and say whatever we believe is the top answer, okay? And whoever has the high...
And your buzzer is your voice.
Yeah, and whoever has the better answer, that's the person who's going to choose to pass or play. So if you believe that you can guess all of the answers on the board without getting 3 strikes, you go ahead and take it. If not, then you say, I'm going to pass it off, and then myself or Andy would have 3 shots without the X's in order to get it. So basically, we're going to go from that, and then we're going to have a fast money round at the end. This is the first time doing it, so I look forward to the madness that will ensue. But I really do want to do the money round because, I mean, I'd have to beat Andy to do that, but... Yeah, I want to play that round just because I think it's a whole lot of fun, and I always wanted to be.
You're both going to get to do the money round. Actually, we're changing the rules up so both of you get to do it. Whoever's in second place going into the money round gets less time. Is what it really comes down to.
Okay, I like it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take the top 12 quarterbacks, top 24 running backs, top 24 wide receivers, in terms of ECR, and then top 12 tight ends, and it's what the masses think who they would avoid in that group. All right, guys, I'm about to ask the question. And it's going to be tags or Andy. Whoever says it first, say your name, is going to get to answer. Quarterback to avoid, top 12.
Andy.
All right, Andy got it.
I'm going to say Cam Newton.
Cam Newton's the number one answer at 23, Andy. So who else? Who's at 2, 4, 5, and 6?
So wait, there's 6 answers to this. So Andy, it's basically the pass or play option, whether you think that you can guess them all, or if you want to pass it on to me.
I think I can guess them all.
All right.
That's a ridiculous thing to say. Of course I will guess them all.
So 2 of them are up there.
I am going to... I'm already stumped. Okay. My next one to avoid is going to be... Carson Wentz.
That's got to be there. Oh,
nope,
1X.
Not there. Not in the top 6.
Jared Goff.
All right, Jared Goff is the number 6 answer at 5 points.
Okay. How about Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes is on the board. That's a good answer. And that's 11 points, by the way.
How about Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson is not on the board.
That's good. He shouldn't be on the board.
So that's 2 strikes. You've got 1 more strike, and you need to get 2 more answers.
I will say Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is not on the board, so Tags, you have a chance to steal it. You need to get one of these, man.
I get the 1 guess, and I'm going to say it's Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is not on the board, so Andy gets to keep his points. And the correct answers were Mitch Trubisky at 11.
Oh.
Jameis Winston, 13. And Big Ben Roethlisberger at 16.
Yeah, I got to say, I had rolled out Mitch Trubisky. I didn't think he was.
Yeah, I didn't think he was ever top 12. And
yeah. All right. Are you guys? So, Andy, you got 52 points. Tags, 0. All right. I'm going to ask you guys the next question. First one to buzz in with their name. Running backs to avoid, top 24.
Tags.
All right.
James Conner.
James Conner is not on the board. Andy, who are you going with?
Le'Veon.
Le'Veon Bell is on the board. So, Andy, you get this one again.
Wow.
Are you going to pass or play?
I'm going to play. I think I can be better this
How many running backs are there?
There's 6 running backs.
All right.
6 running backs that we are avoiding. Surely someone said David Johnson.
David Johnson's not there.
I mean, wow.
You should totally guess Saquon Barkley.
Just for the record, that was tagged.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes was there.
I mean, somebody should have said David Johnson. Come on. That's at least it's a little bit questionable what the running back is going to do in that entirely new system. But whatever. I'm over it. Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley is the number 2 answer on the board at 14%. And I'm really surprised he wasn't a lot higher. I don't know. It's really spread out here. Obviously, if the number 2 answer is at 14%, but I would have thought he would have been 50.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good case for him to be the number 1 answer. That's obvious question marks exiting last season. How about Damian Williams?
Strike number 2, although that is a great answer too.
I thought that was a good one.
I mean, surely there are some questions there as well. I love that he kind of held on to the job and all. I love that they didn't really add anybody who's a huge threat, but man.
Yeah.
How about Sony Michel?
Sony Michel is the last answer on the board at number 7. You're on fire right now.
Okay, that
You've
counts.
got 3 more to get.
I don't personally feel this way, but how about Leonard Fournette?
Yeah, number 1 answer on the board, 16%.
I'm not outrageously worried, and I don't think the price tag is too scary this year either.
Great price tag this year.
How about Nick Chubb?
Nick Chubb is not there.
That's 3 strikes, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. That's 3.
All right, Tags, you've got a chance to steal this one,
Derrick
man.
Henry.
Derrick Henry, you got
Hey.
it. 8 points. All right, so Tags, you get 53.
Oh, God.
And Andy, you're at 52, so it's really close.
53 to 52.
Tags, who do you think the other name is on the list?
The other name
You don't get any points.
I probably would have went with, the masses, Chris Carson.
No, the masses are smart, apparently. It's Philip Lindsay.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you guys the next question here. First one to buzz in. Wide receivers to avoid.
Tags.
I'm not buzzing.
I will go with Tyreek Hill.
He's not even on the board, man.
Tyreek Hill's not on the board?
I mean, how is Tyreek Hill not on the board?
Listeners, you have failed.
Because I think everyone is just avoiding him. Everyone just assumed his price tag's going to drop a ton. I don't know, guys.
Well, I guess he did fall to the top 24 already, but...
Wow. Okay. That's almost scandalous.
I feel like Bobby's cheating again, by the way.
He was at 80% and I just took him out.
Okay, how about AJ Green?
AJ Green is on the board at 9. Andy, you passing or playing?
I'm passing.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like a hard one, doesn't it? All right, Tags. Who are you going with, man?
I just answered a guy that I don't even feel bad about, so.
Who am I going with here? All right, let's, all right. Number 1, I'm going to say that they're going to pass on. I'm going to say Antonio Brown's probably on there.
Number 3, 10 points.
All right. Next one's, man, I don't know what time this was done, but I'm guessing maybe Allen Robinson. Was he on there?
Number 1, 14.
All right.
I vomited.
Andy, do you feel pretty passionate about Allen Robinson?
I vomited. Oh, my God. His best games last year were so good.
Yeah, he was awesome, wasn't he?
Oh, man, I just don't know when this. Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffrey, number 2. You're on fire, Dax. 10 points.
How many receivers are left?
You need 2 more. No strikes yet.
Tyler Lockett?
No.
He might not have been in the top 24. I should have known that because Baldwin afterwards. All right, so that's 1 strike.
24.
DJ Moore.
No, that's a good one, though. 2 strikes. Andy's going to get a chance to steal, I think.
All right, well, this is the masses, so I'm gonna try and think about, like, not what I would say, but what other people would say. I'm going to say Amari Cooper.
Yeah, you got it, man. 8. All right, this is do or die here. You're either getting 60 points or you're giving Andy a chance to get those 60 points.
Oh, man. Kenny Galladay.
No. Andy?
Oof. Yeah, he just tossed out my answer, and it was going to be wrong. So I'm running with confidence right now. I'm going to say that people still have some lingering anxiety about Keenan Allen.
No, it's not Keenan Allen. Guys, it's Jarvis Landry. That one really surprised me.
Landry was top 24 at one point. That's crazy.
I guess so. Yeah, that's what really surprises me.
That's actually what surprises me. I eliminated Jarvis Landry from eligibility. Okay.
Guys, give up on him.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess if he was top 24, he should have been a lot of percentage.
I guess there's a reason he's fell.
Okay, so Tags, you get 51 points there. You're winning 104 to 52. Andy, you've got a chance to climb right back into it. And here's the question. Tight ends to avoid.
Andy,
all right.
My number 1 tight end to avoid is going to be...
How about all of them?
Eric Ebron.
Eric Ebron's on.
Is it not the number 1 answer, though?
No.
All right, so it's not the number 1.
What's wrong with you people? How is that not the number 1 answer? I was
Agree.
13 touchdown Eric Ebron, not the number 1 answer. Damn it.
Oh.
Actually, the other ones are really good, too.
Let's see. David Njoku.
David Njoku is 7. Andy, do you want to pass or play?
I'm going to play.
So Ebron wasn't the number 1. That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it? People are buying into him, man. I don't even know if he's the starter.
And I have to be thinking top 12 ECR.
Top 12 tight ends.
I will go Trey Burton.
Trey Burton is there at 9.
I will go TJ Hawkinson.
He's not on the board. 1 strike.
Okay. All right. Evan Ingram.
No, that surprises me too because I agree. 2 strikes.
Okay. Hunter Henry. Oh, good Lord.
Nope. 3 strikes. Tags, you've got a few options here. You've got 3 options, including number 1 and number 2 on the board.
Okay, if you guys let me down on this one, I'm going to lose my mind. Legitimately, it's on video. Chris Herndon better be on this damn list.
Before I give you the answer, I'm going to say that number 4 was Jack Doyle. Apparently, he was in the top 12.
He was top 12?
At one point, apparently.
Number 1 was Delaney Walker at 19.
Number 1 was Delaney Walker?
Wow. I mean, I had eliminated the possibility that Delaney Walker was top 12.
Yeah. And Tags, do you think you got number 2?
I hope so. Okay.
15 points.
Thank goodness. I was like...
All right. So, Tags, you picked up 44 more. And, Andy, we've got one more before we get to the speed round, and you're really going to need to pick it up here.
This has just been a slaughter.
You're going to need to pick it up, Andy.
This is a different type of question, okay? You guys ready for this?
Please tell me it's kicker.
And we've got...
kickers to avoid.
We've got 8 options that you have to get here. Biggest draft mistakes.
Tags.
All right, Tags.
Drafting a quarterback early.
All right, Andy?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's really a good one. Biggest draft mistakes. I'm going to say, yikes. Tags took the only really obvious answer there. I guess drafting a defense early.
I can't accept that answer as being on the board. So, Tags, you got this one, pass or play?
I will pass.
Good decision.
I think I could figure out one while Andy's going through and trying to guess 3 of them.
You've got to get 7 here, Andy.
There's no chance. I want to repass.
Well, fortunately for you, whatever points you get, you're probably going to keep, because I don't know if Tags is going to be able to get it. We'll see.
Oh God.
Just so you know, when I did this, I was preparing for the show. I had the creative director at Fantasy Pros ask me the questions. I got all 8 of them, so you guys can do it. The pressure's on.
You got all 8 of these?
I got all 8 of them.
That's why Bobby's the host, because he got all 8 of them. I don't believe him. I think Bobby's full of crap.
Let's see. How about drafting a guy who's already been taken?
Nope, that one is not there.
How about not knowing your league rules?
Ooh.
Good God.
That should be number 1 or number 2, but no, it's not. It's not there.
How about following Brad Evans' ranks? Number 1 on
you know
the
what?
board. Give me a ding.
You know what? That is not there. I'm giving you 50 points for that one.
Oh, that is so
and Tags
good.
can't steal Tags cannot steal those 50 points.
That is so good. Oh, man. That's fantastic.
All right, Tags, it's to you to steal, man.
Okay. Biggest draft mistake that people make. Basically relying on last year's stats.
Yeah, you got number 8 with just 5 points, relying too much on recency.
Yeah.
Tags, that was weak.
What were the top answers? I need to hear the top answers on this one.
All right, so failing to prepare, 6 points. Favoritism or homer drafting, 7 points.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, these ones make sense, right?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Deviating from the plan, 9 points. Getting drunk, 11 points.
Okay. That's what I was toggling back and forth between the easy joke with Brad Evans and getting drunk, which is
That's definitely a mistake.
Yeah, you got a lot more points this way than you would have. Waiting too long for a certain position or certain players, and then the number 1 on the board was reaching for a player, 24%.
Yeah, I was going to do the one not reaching enough, like not getting your guy because you're unwilling to reach, like almost relying on ADP.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like you should reach.
Yeah, if you have confidence in a guy, like you feel like he can't miss, like feel free to reach like a full round or 2 if you have to.
One thing that I think is always fun to do, like after you have like a successful season, you win the league, whatever, or whoever the league winner is in your favorite league, go back and look at their draft because it's going to be full of hilarious mistakes, right? Like, I mean, we make mistakes all the time, and the whole point is maybe you nail 2 or 3 or 4 big things, and that carries you to the postseason. But you look back at your draft, and man, it's full of whiffs.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely right. Okay, so
It's like I feel like it's just like you're better off reaching everywhere than not reaching.
you know what? I like that a lot too. And then you're getting your guys, but everyone's worried about the draft grade and like, oh man, it's gonna give me a C-, and everyone's gonna make fun of me saying I have the worst team in the league. Just get your guys. Be happy with it.
Let's be real here. Has anybody that ever won the best draft grade actually won their fantasy league?
Oh, there's no chance. I mean, There's just no chance. I consider it the kiss of death. Like on the rare occasions I'll get an A out of the Yahoo draft grades, it's like, well, we know who's not in it this year.
Well, plus that's a guy who's drafting a kicker. If you're drafting a kicker, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Yeah, don't draft kickers.
All right, guys. So the scoreboard, Andy, you've got 102, so you're in this. Tags, you're at 170. You're going to need to make up some serious ground in the fast money. It is possible, and we don't really have a method here of who gets to go first. So, Tags, I'm just going to let you decide. Do you want to go first? Andy won't be able to say the same answers as you. Or do you want to go second and be able to hear what he says and be able to think about it?
I'll go first.
Okay, you're going first. And you have 45 seconds, including me asking the questions. You've got 5 questions. Okay, here's the first one. And your time starts now. First trade week. So when is the first trade you make?
Week 3.
Week 3. All right. What is the first... What age were you when you started playing fantasy football?
16.
16. All right. How much money is the most you've ever spent on a league?
$100.
$100. All right. And how many mocks do you complete before your draft?
Not me. Let's say, I'm going to say a round number. I'm going to say 10.
10. All right. What round is the earliest you've ever drafted a DST?
14th.
14th round. Okay. Andy, I don't know if you're going to be able to catch him. You've got hope, but you need to nail every single one of these best possible answers.
Okay.
All right. And you've got a little bit less time. You've got 40 seconds. And Tags wasn't even close to that, so you should be fine. First week you made a trade.
Week 4.
Week 4. All right. First age you were when you started playing fantasy football.
19.
All right. How much money is the most you've ever spent on a league?
$1,000.
All right. How many mocks do you complete before you do your draft?
3.
All right. And what is the earliest you've ever drafted a DST?
Round 8.
Round 8. All right. You guys ready for these answers?
All right. So just to be clear, we were giving answers in terms of how we viewed the consensus would do them. These aren't our actual answers. I've never drafted a defense in round 14.
Yeah, you do. You might want to clarify that. Okay, so Andy, we're going to go backwards. We're going to work our way backwards. You said DST round 8. 19 people answered it that way. And we're not going by percentage here because we wanted to be able to allow you to catch up whoever was in second place.
And was that a top answer?
No, the top answer was not round 8. And we'll get to your answers in a second. So he got 19 points there. How many mocks you complete? Only 4 people said 3. How much money you've spent?
I just want to say the answer for me there is like, I might do one that I have to do for a magazine, but I almost never mock.
Really? Okay. You said $1,000 for the most. Only 2 people have spent $1,000. One person said $5,000.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's got to be Brad Evans.
Age when you started playing? I thought 19 was a really good guess. Only 12 people said that, but this is really spread out. So 12's not bad there. And then first week to make a trade, you had week 4. That is the number 2 answer on the board. 53 points. The number 1 answer on the board was week 3, which is what Tag said. Tied with preseason. 55 points for Tags. So Andy, you got 90. Tags already got 55 with just this one.
That ain't going to do it.
First age, Tags, you said age 16. That's 22. That's the second answer on the board. Number 1 was 12, which really surprised me. And you'll be able to see this if you're watching on YouTube. We'll have all the answers up for you. Dan Harris is also going to write an article for you. Most money you've ever spent, Tags. You had the number 1 answer on the board at $100. 56 people said that. How many mocks do you complete? You said 10. That is the number 3 answer on the board, 34. Tags, you nailed this, man. And then when is the earliest you've ever drafted a DST? You said round 14. That's the number 1 answer on the board at 48. Tags, you just picked up 215 more points.
I mean, I just want to say these people are lying. These people are straight up lying.
I don't know, man.
Like,
see, here's what I was thinking.
Every hometown draft I've ever been in, somebody takes a defense in like round 7. Right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Like this is just one that nobody wants to admit to.
Andy, you have to understand, those people are not on Twitter looking at fantasy football stuff.
Yes, and they're not answering questions about fantasy football in early May.
Correct.
Oh, you want to tell me there's no knuckleheads on Twitter?
Oh, there's knuckleheads. That's for sure. I'm one of them.
Okay, what's worst? If you go on Twitter and you're getting trolled, or you go on Reddit, which one do you feel worse about yourself, Andy?
Reddit, they can talk longer.
Yeah, exactly. I get trolled everywhere I go, so.
Yeah, it's not especially fun, but it's really cool that we get to do a job that people actually care about what we say, and it's about fantasy football, so I'm okay with the trolls. Not as okay with Brad Evans, like feeding the trolls and like petting them and stuff, but
Brad loves him. Brad loves him. He can't get enough.
he's so good at dealing with them too. I learn stuff from him all the time with that.
He said they're his best supporters, so I was like, more power to you, man. I can't talk to those people.
I've got to say, Tags, as well as you did, the single best answer was what Andy got 50 points for. That was phenomenal.
I would actually agree with that. I would say that was.
Tags, you're the big winner, man. You won the mock draft. You won Fantasy Feud. You're just a stud.
I'd just like to thank my mom for having me. I don't know what I'd do without her. I wouldn't be here, that's for sure.
You're like a different expert now that you got that dog.
Mitch.
You know, I want to take this opportunity to remind everyone that not only did I beat Tags in our bet last year with Christian McCaffrey over Joe Mixon, but I beat Tags at Topgolf right-handed and left-handed when Tags was golfing right-handed. So
GTFO, Bobby.
Wow.
I'm the big winner.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no recollection of this. I was drunk.
Oh, okay. Well, good thing I have proof on my camera, so I'm going to have to upload it to Twitter.
I was drunk. I'm blaming it on the alcohol.
How long are you allowed to take that McCaffrey over Mixon victory lap?
As long as it takes me to finally win another mock draft, I think. Which might be a while with the rate we're going. Everyone who listens to the show is like, oh man, a mock draft episode. Let's just fast forward to the end where Tags wins.
Yeah. And now they'll be fast forwarding.
The thing is, I went on like 6 straight last year, and I was known as like, oh, I don't really like Bobby's drafts, but he always wins these things. And now Tags like has the better drafts and wins.
Let's just hope has nothing to do with the, like the winning the draft grade, like at the end of your draft. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually saving it up till August when a lot more people are listening, and then everyone's going to be like, oh, that Bobby guy, he always wins mock drafts, and then I'll keep winning.
Bobby's going to be behind the scenes, like looking at the algorithm and how to beat me.
I helped write the algorithms, and I still can't win.
That's fantastic.
All right, guys, that's all for today's show. Andy, thank you so much for carving out the time to talk with us. It's always a blast when we talk with you, and you can follow Andy on Twitter at Andy Behrens. That's his name. If you don't already follow him, I don't know if you actually like fantasy football. So, Andy, thanks for coming to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always fun with you guys.
And Tags is at Mike Tagliere NFL, and I'm at Bobby Fantasy Pro. Please do follow us as well. And make sure to enter your name for that JuJu Smith-Schuster signed Steelers helmet at fantasypros.com/contest. And thanks to Pristine Auction for helping us put that on. If you buy something from Pristine Auction at PRISTINE auction.com, please make sure to let them know Fantasy Pro sent you. That way we can keep doing these giveaways. We want them to know that, hey, these ad reads do actually work. You guys love their site and you're buying their stuff, so we can keep doing these giveaways. We really appreciate it. And, when you're signing up for this JuJu Smith-Schuster helmet, we read all the reviews. We want to know what you like about the show, what you want to see improvement in. So please just give us honest feedback. That way we can make the show the best for you. For Mike Tagliere and Andy Behrens, I'm Bobby Sylvester. Thanks for listening and enjoy your football.
I just wanted you to watch me dissolve.